that at the end of the day, you can become one of the biggest journalists in the country. And of course, whenever we nurture you, we give you the ethics of the job. You need to know your left and right, and when you come out as a journalist, you are very focused, very prepared, and well noted as to whatever that you are being tasked upon. My name is Nana Yeboah. I'll be going for a quick commercial break. When I come back, we dive into the right back.
Baby, I will free. Said dear Omoya Omaniama, Kasa Omoka, Omundiania Omudi, and Amamre and Kasankasa, and this Yatrama, and my four Amunsunyashe, a hand time jar, and Amaswo, and my Yesunya Bibia, Yato Yamamre Asylum, and Penny Foka send me say, Refu Cromi Abaya, Wajira a Jabase, and not in a premium TV cover by, a did you ready on Waswa, Yatuni didn't say, Show Mamre. What you made you see a cockroach biaso, your bobra baby beer a war, your bisa omoniama, said your omoka among some effa, said your mamma etsy and casancasa, your rear at your studio, near Abedja Forbets Nasi at your train como, at the Afaho. Near me did you make dear what she me, Midiam just one, Efua, Jaboa, Jan. Make a show a mamra, no what just swam, mamma say, a mamra, who here, premium TV, shaping global, true culture.
So welcome back from the commercial break. You're still watching Premium TV, and it is the State of the Nation right here. It is Monday evening, and today we'll be discussing issues that are bothering the nation. First of all, MTN has come out with a couple of messages. Messaging its contacts, that its customers, that effective from 1st May, there's going to be 1% tax on every talk time and data bundle as a result of the COVID-19 levy we should bear note as a country. And this is what we are asking, that how does communication network comes in with a levy of 1% or on our talk time? Has there been stakeholders consultation? What is it going to benefit us out of it? Because there are a lot of things going on with the COVID-19 issue, and so how does it benefit the country Ghana by you, taxing us 1% on our talk time and our data bundle? Secondly, we'll be discussing about Akufo-Addo deploying 200 military men to the Galamsey site. And this is what we are asking. There were first issues of military men going to this Galamsey site and, helping these whole people, getting rid of them out of the site. There have been videos and series of allegations that these military men are the same men that are helping these Chinese on this illegal mining as well. Now we ask ourselves, deployment of these 200 military men, is it going to help the nation? Are they going to do their work, or they are also going to go in favor of these same Chinese as others did? And these are the two questions that we'll be discussing here. My guest is seated, and as usual, I have my honorable member, Julius Oko-Ayi. Welcome. Welcome. I hope all is well. That's right.
We are very viewers a new month because we are in the month of May, and we thank God for a successful transit.
That's right.
Month of
April to May, of course.
So I think the Lord has been good.
And it's like, I know this month happens to be your birthday, your birth month.
Yeah,
so,
it's my birth month.
of course. So
and that does not take away the fact that a brother of ours in this particular building
That's right.
happens to celebrate his day today. And once again, I would like to wish him Nana Amwako, that is Enoch Nana Amwako. I would like to
That's
wish
right.
him wherever he is.
That's
a
right.
grateful and glorious happy birthday. We are still celebrating with him. We know he's going to put things in place.
I mean, for me personally,
So,
I didn't.
after the program, we will go and have some fun.
Well, we are waiting. We are waiting.
Yes.
Of course, we are waiting. When I'm getting straight to our discussion for the day,
Yeah.
MTN taxing our data bundles and our airtime 1% as COVID-19 levy. Is it in the right direction? How does it affect us?
You know what? First of all, let me say a very big good evening to our cherry viewers.
That's right.
We are of the protection of the Most High. And we always promise to bring nothing but the best when it comes to the issue of state of our nation. We're not hiding it. Bring nothing but the fact on the ground.
That's right.
And with that aside, let me say, going straight to B, like you asked, MTN bringing on 1% taxation on Ghanaians. You know what? I bet we differ a bit here. I would not like to limit it MTN alone because the issue has to do with some few months ago when Ghana as a state we had an information finance minister has got COVID, so he has to be flown outside the country. And I remember during
Is it as a result of COVID, or maybe he had health implications and decided to go for treatment? I mean, I want us to be
let me
clear.
put it this way: that he had health implications.
That's
He
right.
has to be the country, and so in his absence, I remember the Honorable Osei Chairman Samboiso was installed as the caretaker of the finance ministry. So he came to Parliament in the month of March to read the budget, and in reading the budget, he made it clear, say, starting on May 1st, we are going to pay 1% tax on VAT and national health insurance as COVID-19 levy.
Okay.
So I think the whole announcement is not from MTN, but it is from the
Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance at the then time by
Osei Chairman,
Samboiso,
the majority speaker of Parliament.
Yes, who happens to be the caretaker at the time.
Yeah.
Now he claims that this new levy will be used for procurement of the vaccines, and I believe we've had the first phase of vaccines where some of our colleagues generally get them close. But you know the problem here is that we were told that those vaccines were coming from India and they were free. We were never told that we are going to be injected or vaccinated, and later on we pay it. That is where my problem lies. So the question is, what was the government hiding? At that time, Robert Miakache Ghanaian said, these vaccines are coming from India, but we are going to pay for it. You see, it's like, I don't want to believe that the government is not telling Ghanaians or hiding something from Ghanaians, because we were in this country during the peak of the COVID, when in one of the favorites meet the Ghanaians at home, where we were, the president talks to us on Sunday evening. One of his deliveries, if I could remember, he made it clear that because of the COVID, Ghanaians are going to enjoy free electricity of months.
That's right.
Right after the enjoyment, we were told say it was not free, that we are going to pay for it. Same thing has happened today. Like we are all told, we were never told say the vaccines are going to be paid for, and we are now told say because we get vaccinated, the vaccines came, then this time around we are going to pay for it, and it's going to come from that 1% taxation on both the VAT and the national health insurance levy. Now, another use of the taxation has to do with the fact that the president, in one of his deliveries, promised to build medical facilities. If we do recall,
at its constituency with health center.
Yes, and we are told say this part of this levy is going to be used to assist and also is going to assist in recruitment of more health workers.
Out of this 1%.
Yes, that's what the friend said. The research.
But if this is the case, why is it coming out of the telecommunication network?
That is it. I think that the information minister, Honorable Mr. Opon Kruma, should have come out to inform Ghanaians and let us have what friends said, the state of the nation is. At the end of the day, this is the truth on the ground.
That's
because
right.
You don't expect, even though MTN, the leader when it comes to the telecommunication giants, but we don't expect a telecommunication network come out and give an national information.
Exactly.
Whereby we have information here, friends.
We have the NCCs around.
We even have friends, the communication ministry.
That's right.
Headed by SLO. And they are in charge of telecommunication. They should have come out to tell Ghanaians, oh, because of ABCD,
this is what we are doing.
This is what we want to do. You see, when you allow MTN to come, all their attacks will be on MTN.
That is what we are looking at, because
that is the point.
They are just sending messages around, and we are just imagining the amount of data we use, the amount of airtime we use, that we are being taxed 1% on.
And I'm telling you, Master, you even mash up with MTN. Within a second or so, you'll be told, Charlie, you are left with 50% of your mashup. You are left with 50% of your data bundle here and there. And even with that, we are being told that we are going to be taxed 1%. The answer is for what?
For what? That is it.
Is it the first time government is going to recruit health workers in this country? Is it the first time government is going to build medical facilities? Is it the first time that we are going to pay health insurance in this country? I thought all these are part of the electricity bills we pay, because even on the receipt, health insurance levy, traffic light levy, street light levy, all these things are already part. I don't know where all these things are coming from. And I think, like you said, we expect or we want the information minister to come out and tell Ghanaians what all these announcements is all about. So that at the end of the day, we all understand ourselves, because MTN and it means every information that is supposed to come from the ministry should be
given
by MTN. It's very wrong.
Yeah.
That is very wrong. So I think our politicians should come back again.
They would have to come back again. Now, I want us to look at the fact that they are saying it from the MTN, right?
Yeah.
Now, I want us to look at the fact that if MTN is taxing us, then how are they going to work out the taxation, and how are they going to spread it out? You get me? So, like you said, it is being given out to the what do we call it? The COVID-19. Meanwhile, we all know that the vaccine were given to us freely. That is what the president claims.
Oh yes.
You understand? Now we even have a situation in India as we speak now that the rate at which COVID-19 is booming there is about 400 people dying a day.
That is it.
Out of not getting oxygen.
That is correct.
So if they give us vaccines, and at a point in time it turns out for them being dead like that, what is happening? Is it the government of Ghana that is not telling us the truth, or who is lying here?
My brother, you know what? I think that was about 3 days ago. I was watching CNN and I saw dead bodies, human bodies being burnt because even the cemetery cannot accommodate them. You see, and this is a levy we are paying, whereby even with the first phase of the vaccination, only about 30 to 40% of Ghanaians were vaccinated. Is my chest right?
Yeah, not even up to 30%. No.
Oh yes.
Because the vaccine was about, I think, 40,000 or something, and we are about 30 million population.
About 30 million population.
It's almost about 4%.
That is it. So even my death in Nukrabo is too much. But at the end of the day, even the 5% no more expected the next phase. I'm telling you, they will never get the next phase today or tomorrow. Because you see, they are even dying more of the COVID.
So if they had the vaccines, why are they dying now?
It's because at the time they had the COVID. At the time they have the vaccines, they were distributing it, helping Oniado, helping other countries, not knowing they will be striking by the COVID. And it's like little did they know, say it will
get out of hand like that
and get worse than it was before. So at the end of the day, I say because I thought say the disease has come down, the rate has come down, it's minimized. No, he said it has rather gotten worse. So at the end of the day, there was an agreement, so I wanted to give it to you, but with the situation at hand, there's no way I can still give it to you. So what it means is that even this levy shouldn't have started. Because per the agreement, we are going to receive 3 phases of the first vaccination. Now we've had only the first phase. Even first phase, like you said, only 5% of Ghanaians
had
it. About 25 million Ghanaians have not been vaccinated. Second phase has not come yet, and we have started paying levy for this vaccination. I think it's very bad because at the end of the day, 5%. How many journalists were there? Even the agent, even the targeted group on whose behalf this vaccination came.
We couldn't reach.
We have a lot of people who still have their reservations when it comes to the vaccine. Some were like, ABIS 6s. Some were like, it will kill your manhood. It will do this. So because of that, even that targeted group, they were not matched because a lot of people didn't even go out to get vaccinated. So at the end of the day, I was expecting the government say, okay, let's do this as a trial and error. Let be say a test case. If it succeeds, then it goes through. But here is the case, it's not even up to 10% of your population. But you have still decided to take a levy out of it. At the end of the day, you and I might not be vaccinated, but we are still going to pay the levy.
And the question is, how long are we going to continue paying this levy?
That is where the problem is.
Is it going to take years? Is it going to take months? I mean, these are all indications that, or explanations, more detailed, that should be given to us by the Ministry of Information.
That is the point. But you see, the president has made it clear and known to all Ghanaians that COVID has come to stay with us. So what it means to me, so far as or as long as we stay with COVID, we will keep paying taxation.
Wow.
Yeah, because like the president said, it has come to stay with us. It has nowhere to go. Like our diabetes, like the malarias, like the choleras. COVID has come to stay with us.
But we are not paying levies on other vaccines given to us with respect the polio and or other vaccines. We are not paying levies to it.
Yeah, the reason has to be with the fact that polio came earlier in the 80s, getting to the 90s, but no airport was closed down. Polio wasn't that serious.
So now I want to ask that if we are to pay levy for these vaccines, then what was the use of the COVID-19 Trust Fund?
That is where the problem is. Because even during the peak of the COVID, we are in this country as journalists, we've been reading, we've been hearing, we've been seeing other countries sending in their funds, their support.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
including our corporate societies. I mean,
we even know the type of food they prepare with those funds. It's just that we don't want to talk about it. Because at the end of the day, whether we talk about it or not, they will not change. It will not change their mindset. Corporate bodies, funds were being raised to support. Ghanaians came in their numbers to support it. Where are those funds?
I mean, there was a recent report that about 12.4 million Ghana cedis is missing out of the COVID-19 Trust Fund. The problem is, who took it?
Who took it? And before that person takes it, it must go through a lot
process.
Of signatories.
That's right.
So at
because
the end of the day,
they are board members to it.
That is the point.
So if such an amount should get missing, it means it's a connived activity. Now, money that is supposed to be used to fund this COVID-19 issues, people are taking it along. Are we safe as a country?
You know what? During the peak of the COVID, both political both the two political parties in the country, be the government side or the opposition side, we have the friends said the knowledge whereby they all set up a committee. Yeah. Government set up a committee spearheaded by the likes of Okoboy and Coase, which we know he was doing very well when it gets to the peak of the COVID. Just like the opposition NDC, the senators and co, they also set up. So the question is, the committee that was set up by the government, they were in charge of these funds we are talking about. At the end of the day, you and I know said because of that, Okoboy lost his seat and he has lost his ministerial role. He has not been assigned anywhere to a different ministry. Why? If there's something hiding under the waters, I think the president should let the good people of Ghana know. Because these are people, they were in charge of the fund. And they say, we have to call them, investigate them. And this time around, we must not clear them.
That's right.
We must let the institution work. We must allow the courts to work. This should not be a clearing agent matter. No. Let us bring all of them on board. You were in charge of the COVID fund, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is the debt. How did this come about? When they signed it here, who signed it? Let's bring all of them. Let Ghanaians know the state of COVID fund. Yes. Before you ask Ghanaians, you
we should have, by now we should have even known the amount we have in the coffers.
In the coffers.
It should be known by Ghanaians so that we know that is what we call accountability. So that we know that if we are taking 1 CD out of it, we are left with this. We are taking 2 CDs out of it. This is what we have in our account.
And I was so much I was very, very disappointed when I was watching the Honorable S.H. Mensah in March delivering the budget of the nation, and he could not tell Ghanaians, say, fine man,
we had 1 CD, 50%.
One Ghana CD for now. We have a debt of, we have 5 Ghana CD, we have this of them. He couldn't, the only thing he said is that starting from May, Ghanaians will be burdened with a taxation of 1% on data and calls. And the data router could read. Even the data today, how slow does it run? Then you talk about the call times. To the people, do you know that we now live in a country whereby people want to send us, they have to flash you. Because even our call rate is running faster than Usain Bolt. And now you are coming to burden Ghanaians. Is that the promise? The answer is no. The promise was to ease the pressure on Ghanaians. So why do you burden Ghanaians with a levy we know nothing about? It's true. At the peak of the COVID, you came out to tell Ghanaians you want to build 88 hospitals, if I get it right. Yes. And you want to build medical centers here. But you never told us that money will come from our taxations. At the end of the day, like I asked earlier on, Yamudu do send a vaccine to me call Yanyebi. Everyone will think your friends say, you're vaccinating, but because that everyone use your phone to know, she will also be deducted.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the baby never procasium, and when one never said, oh, and everyone 50 Ghana be, must send you credit, if you are 5 CD, 2 CD, and you take 1% of that as a tax. You are not ashamed of yourself.
All right, so you're still watching the State of the Nation right here on Premium TV. I mean, we're still discussing the 1% deduction, the tax levy on health insurance and then COVID-19. Whether it is really important as a country to have this. Are we getting the vaccines, and what are these tax when it's being accumulated? What is it going to be used for? These are questions that Ghanaians are asking. I'll be going for a quick commercial break. When I come back, we continue with our next story. Stay and stay.
bebia wo free said dia omoye omneema kasa omoka omonduane a omudi ene amamre ankasa ankasa ene suatrama mmafo omonsunya hwe ahantan dwa ene amaso ama yensunya bibia yato yamamre asairam empenifo ka sembi se urefri ukrom yin aben a wojira edwabo ase eno na Premium TV kofa buy yede dwumedi onwaso a yato ne din se chirewa mamre wodwumedi so ye kokro bia so ye bobro bebi bia ewo ye bisa omoniema sadia omoka omonsam efa sadia omamamre ete ankasa ankasa ye wie ediaba studio ni abedwafo betena se atwetwe nkomo ede afa ho nia me de dwumedi ho chia me.
All right, so welcome back from the commercial break. You're still watching State of the Nation right here, and we're discussing the 1% levy on talk time and data bundles. As to, is it the right direction to go about? Julius, let me ask you, yeah, as to the levy, right? Do you think the communication sector is the right direction to get the 1% from, instead of maybe industrial use or maybe I mean other purposes? Do you think it is the communication network that we can have this from?
That is a strategic and a very smart way of managing an economy, because at the end of the day, you always say when it gets, where we start from, because as we speak now, starting from coming Wednesday,
yeah, there's going to be increment.
Gathered in the will be spent in transport here and there. But like looking at the other sectors, they have nowhere to go through the what do you call it? And because it is on record said out of the 30 million Ghanaians, about 25 to are using smartphones.
That's right.
The point. So at the end of the day, how the only power is a very
you get it simple.
But the fact is, at least even if it pass through there, you need to be informed to understand the concept of whatever the levy is about.
That is it.
And you don't expect a telecom network to come and inform Ghanaians, because NTA is not the only telecom. We have our own phone, Enter Tigos, and what do you call Globacom, the Casapers, we know they are known. Now
we even have Glue as well.
Yeah, that's the Globacom.
Yeah.
So I think the NCC, the Information Ministry, and the Communication Ministry have not been up to the task. They've not even treated Ghanaians fairly, because they are supposed to get from Ghanaians about it. And I think I will also blame the appointment committee of Parliament, because you know what, when Osei Chairman made this announcement, wasn't the sector minister at the time.
That's right.
But when the sector minister came for the vetting,
he should have been invited.
He should have been question on it during the vetting. They should have vetted him such questions. That this is what was captured the budget of the president March. What do you have to say? Was allowed to go like that. I think it's very sad. Even before the day start, he should have come out to tell Ghanaians that this is what we are. Because this is what the president has been doing almost during the peak of the COVID.
Yeah.
President will come from next week. If you don't wear your mask and you are in town, they'll deal with you. Go away. From next week, so the president should have meet us in our homes last Sunday to tell us, oh, okay, from next week,
this and this is what will be happening.
So at the end of the day, the Ghanaian public know what the whole thing is all about. As we speak now, Obi Ogra, excuse me, he doesn't listen to radio, he doesn't watch us on TV. When you man say, I see a tax be every quarter here, this. And you know, a lot of people are threatening to leave MTN as a network
because of this whole
thing, thinking network. But I think education-wise, our authorities and institutions have failed Ghanaians.
Education-wise, our authorities and our institutions has failed Ghanaians. That is my panelist, Julius Oku-Ayi. Now, moving on to our next story. In all, I think last week, yes, and then the president came out to say that he has deployed 200 military men onto the Galamsey site. Go fight Galamsey, as to clear the site wherever, if you have excavators, you have any machinery, they just come to your site and then clear everything. You are arrested, you are being prosecuted, and then, if possible, you are being jailed. Now, the question we are asking is, the military men, the use of these military men, is it the right direction? Is it going to help Ghanaians? Or do you think it is going to stop these people from this Galamsey issue? And how long are these military men going to be in that area? As to when they are back to Accra, is the site going to be that opened like that? Or are they going to stop? Or when they are back, they're still going to continue? But before we get to the discussion, I want us to go and then watch a video about how these military men act on these Galamsey sites. Let's go and then watch the video.
Bamboko manso kwaye mu akwantuo yi eda eniema pia asesei edi. Yehunu se amnamna a yenkata so ene Galamsey fo sesen ahodo a yabobo esa kwan ho nyina kopem kwaye no fa akanum. Yatratra amnamna ene monchimonka ahodo no wieye no. Yekopue biaya ya bossesen kese ewo kwaye no mfimfi. Entamwa yehu China for enson akire won. Panyina oda Bamboko no ano ehyase ewurawura adan ahodo no mu nyina eye hwehwemu.
Sir, there are military uniforms here.
Wohunu se asrafo ewo ponum.
From what we are seeing here, it looks like there are some military men involved in this whole activity in this forest. Because looking at their uniforms, even some have names on them, but we did not meet any of them. But looking at it, I think the military were the people protecting them here to do this illegal job.
Okay, so what are we doing with the uniforms?
First of all, we need to retrieve them and then ascertain as to who sanctioned their duties here.
So these are military accoutrements. You can find names on them. This one is Camel. This one is Camel. We have the other one, Amweni, on this one. And these are, as security men have been able to authenticate, these are quality Ghana Army uniforms, indicating that we may have some military involvement here in this site.
Edru ehwehwemu no mfimfini no. Abrante osrani bi adi tundra car eba biaye ho.
Yes, sir. Obi to say, we see a lot of people. Obi to say,
so just no more.
David.
Oshase edi ne checheku efrefre wona wosoma won no.
I will this is Staff Sergeant Ayante, sir. We are here at this thing, Tontokrom. The whole duties, and there are some policemen and media be here.
Beye sima aduasantem no asrafo a wani abre babura aduasa ebe hye homma. Abufuo edane akasakasa a ano den empo emanka edane atwere to mpo. Emrante kwa wabopi a ebinumpo eka Delta Force kuo no ho ebeka won ho. Wojai Chinese fo a ye kire won no nyina. Efri samre yi ekode asrafo no amaye kwan ma ye ntwamfo ni bia biem e wa ha.
Please stop what you are doing. Stop what you are doing.
Wo bunkam efa Bamboko a ekoye no so. Afei eniema ani beye nyan. Wonam ohyaso je me driver no safwa ene enipa a otwa emfoni no etentame agye ne camera no. Ebra na asrafo egyina hɔ mpo. Wɔn papa yɛ kaa no ahwehwɛ. Owura Donald Ntua a ɛhɔ ɛyɛ ne dia no ɛhyɛ asrafo no sɛ wɔn pepa bibia a ɛwɔ yɛn camera ɛne yɛn mobile phone so. Nanso yɛtumi fa kwan bi so enya eniama a wɔpepa free yɛn camera no so no bi. Asoɛyɛ a ɛhwɛ yɛn pɔtam so ɛne asrafo asoɛyɛ ɛna ɛhwɛ ma afei deɛ wogya yɛn. Ɔsoafo a ɔhwɛ yɛn pɔtam so ɛde saa asɛm yi ɛto yɛn nim. Ɔse Heritage Imperial ɛwɔ krataa a yɛde yɛn hwehwɛmu ɛwɔ asase so na mmom wɔni tumi sɛ otu agudeɛ. Ɛno nti ɛfam agudeɛ a otu no ɔkwayem no ɛnam mmrakwan so. Nanso Donald ɛka kyerɛ yɛn sɛ ɔwɔ krataa a obetumi de atu agudeɛ ɛwɔ kwaye num. Nanso ne nyina mu no biaye ha ɛne otemuafoɔ pa waka na no atomu a amena ɛne monchimonka ɛna ɛmene no. Erastus Asaredonko Adom Kaseɛ Manso Tontokrom.
So that was a video we just watched. I mean, and here comes the case. These military men are being deployed to our site again. Are you going to see this? Is it going to be a better case? Are they responsible for this fight instead of getting policies to get rid of these people? Deploying military men, is it going to be the solution? This whole Galamsey thing. Serious. You watched the video. What do you have to say about this?
I think the fight against business, because I think this deployment was announced by the president somewhere 14th of April when the chiefs and the traditional leaders of said the camps.
That's right.
From the president about the bad effects of Galamsey on not just the land but also the waters. Because you go to the eastern region, almost all the waters are now turning into Tom Brown, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it's like this is a fight. They started from the very onset of the NPP administration under Nana Akufo-Addo. That was when the start began, and we saw the effect it had on some of our own military, Major Mohammed's lynched. But this issue can only be resolved when we are able to sit down as a nation, plan about the future of the nation. Because many a times we do blame the politicians, many a times we do blame government, but we the citizens and the civilians must also take responsibility. Because I remember when I was directing at Chevy, during the weekdays, normally I'm free. I have a brother who operates at a Galamsey side. Sometimes, oh, Charlie, come around, let's see. So I would say I've been to Galamsey before. But the point is, the people in those towns, that is where they earn their living. Because most of the people there, especially the heavy ones, they sell shovels, they sell the head pans that the workers will be using. Some even go there to sell food for the workers. And even if the government comes out with a policy, without educating them to understand how bad it will affect the nation, they will feel say, oh, so what I said, it's not just a matter of telling them to stop, but let them understand why they have to stop it. Because today we have purified drinkable water. What about tomorrow? That was why I'm in love with what the Chinese ambassador said the other time. He said no Chinese knows the very location where gold is. This particular country, unless a fellow Ghanaian listen to the site, say, I have to Albania good, I have to Albania good. See, we have many a times we talk about unemployment. Because of that, we should allow them. But at the end of the day, you are allowing them at the expense of the future leaders or what? That is why politicians say we should vote for them, and they will give the youth and the upcoming graduates employment, jobs. Where are their jobs? And that is why they have ended up doing Galamsey, because you know what? Even a little good round, more than 1,000. And that is why it's making it difficult for them to stop. So if we want them to stop, one, we have to provide jobs for the youth. Two, I can tell you on authority that most of the people at the Galamsey site are from our neighboring countries. The Burkina, Cote d'Ivoire, I'm telling you. Go and visit the Galamsey site and they will tell you. I have been there before, I know what I'm talking about. Most of them are from Mali, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire and Co. They just leave their country, come and destroy our country, and they go back home. So it's high time the authorities will sit up. Now, we saw videos of Galamsey, excavators being bent. But the question is that the solution? The answer is no. Because one, when you get to the site, most of the site that the securities will see that there are waters that are stagnant. They have nowhere to pass. Why don't you use that same excavator to fill it?
Rather than burning
it. So how do we fill it? That means it's only better hours are. And most of these security people who are in the towns are connected to the Galamsey site operators and even the owners.
That's right. Even right from the video, you could see how these military men that are deployed to go and fight Galamsey, they are rather protecting the Chinese.
The point. These are people who have taken an oath
to serve Mother Ghana.
To serve and defend the integrity of our motherland Ghana. And today, because Major Mahama was lynched, celebrated his death, Yemeni State burial. Everywhere now you go to airport in the statue. But what has happened to the people who did that? So even if I'm a military man and I've been posted there, the possibility say I'll
fall victim of this.
That is it. It's very high. Sometimes they have to. They have no choice than to. Get more or less connected, condone and connive with the people there. But that should not be the case. No say Anka police they are easily manipulated. But we need to know they are more disciplined, and when it comes to your friendly issues of this nature, they know where to place their integrity ahead of personal gains. So I think that the security system have to be up and doing. And politicians are also part of this problem. Sometimes people will be arrested and they'll just go politicians, order from above, allow the person to go. Why is this in every Galamsey site they arrest local Ghanaians and leave the Chinese to go back to their country just like that? We need to prosecute them. Because they left their country to come and destroy our country.
That's right.
You don't go to China and misbehave and they'll tell you say you back out and prosecute you. No. Their laws will deal with you over there. By now, you come down and say site China and see the national airport near the picture. We have taken him back to his country. For what? Damage not be considered. Who should feel that damage? If we had used about 1, 2, 3 Chinese as a scapegoat, I think they will stop it. But like the Chinese ambassador said, we have allowed them to do what they are doing to us.
All right, so we have allowed these Chinese to do whatever that they are doing in the country for us. Our time is fast spent. This is where time will permit us to be. Let me say a very big thank you to my MCR, Akwesi Kisi Raymond, Eunice, Ako, and then to my guest, and then to the whole Premium TV workers, especially to my boss, Mr. Kinsley Tete, and everybody working within Premium TV. If once come your way with the state of the nation, God willing, next